when Tony Scungili quit, I asked him, are you going to make an I Quit video? I'll react to it. And he says, no, I'm an adult. This is Philosopher's I Quit video. I don't want to put this on YouTube. But if you're watching this on YouTube, I guess I've failed. What, like 2 years? Played for 2 years? Basically a noob.
Because I'm somebody who does a lot of stuff. I'm a pretty high intensity kind of person.
I'm pretty much like a badass. Like, I'm just crushing it every day. I'm out there. I'm just like getting tail and doing cool shit. I'm just fucking awesome. And like, I'm so fucking awesome, I'm not on camera. So that's how you know I'm a badass.
And I work and do a lot of activities. Suddenly I couldn't go any.
Oh shit, he works? No fucking way, dude. None of it. No. The rest of us fucking work or do things. The people who have been playing for 4 years, we're fucking losers, but you're cool. You only did this because of quarantine. Okay, good. Thanks for the background.
Anywhere, and I had needed to pass some time. I think a lot of you did the same thing, right? So I got into this game literally.
No, dude, a lot of us started at launch. Like, dude, did you not? I mean, you didn't know, but views were so much better on Marvel Strike Force content before you even fucking started. Like, so many more players were playing before quarantine than started during quarantine. They had a great year during quarantine. People who had checked out came back, but this game launched big, and most people started then. Jesus Christ, the shit you don't know about what happened before you fucking came around, you could fill a goddamn stadium with.
And how was I able to, get so far so fast? Well, partly I had just beaten DD2 and
okay. All right. Like at this point, he wasn't complaining about power creep and power leap. We were. Players who were already playing for 2 years were already all bitching that Black Order was power crept and power leapt. He was like, well, I just bought them and they're great. There's no fucking power leap here at all. I'm able just to buy my way in. I can just buy my way in and just go, because there's no way to get this. He has Ebony Maw. Like, you couldn't catch up and get Ebony Maw without money. That's a fucking double legendary, right? You got to get Black Bolt, and then you get Ebony Maw. And as a new player, we all know there's no doing that. That was super rare at the time, only obtainable with money. So, like, yeah, tell me you spent a lot of money without telling me you spent a lot of money. Just show me your roster pick.
in DD3, and I'd hoarded all that gear. If you brought the same characters to DD2, DD3, and DD4, well, you could reuse a lot of double.
And you can do the same thing now. You can start now. You can spend a lot of money, and you can fly through Dark Dimension, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not 5 so much, but you can catch up really, really fast through those Dark Dimensions. If you just focus on what you're building for Dark Dimensions, you can get the path right up to the top, and you get all the clear rewards, and those will help you get to the next area. Yeah, this is not a complicated strategy that was used here. A lot of people who play mobile games will dump just, hundreds of dollars into this and not even realize, not even connect. It's microtransactions for a reason, and the reason why is because whatever point you're at in your life, whatever income level you're at, okay, whatever income level you're at, there's a dollar amount that is imperceivable to you. My income level, it's probably like under $1. At under $1, it's not perceivable as an expenditure. I don't even realize that I've spent it. Now, if you were doing a little better than me, it might be like $10. If you spend anything $10 and under, your bank account doesn't budge. You don't notice that you spent the money, and it's as if you did nothing at all. Now, Philosopher, he's a really happening, cool guy, remember? And he's got a great job, and he's probably got a lot of, it might be like $100 is his cap, where anything under $100, and he just doesn't fucking notice it. So to him, he was probably like, oh, I was, just playing and just whatever, not really equating that every day he was buying like a $50 offer, and that he played for like a fucking month. And that's a lot of fucking money to anyone like regular. But, there it goes.
So you got tons of orange gear, right, out of all of that, and that's all you needed for DD4. And on top of all that,
hindsight is 20/20, motherfucker, and that's what you used to win. Good, but that's what you used. Everybody else got taken for a fucking ride. Dark Dimension 3 was announced, And we started working on the stuff that we use for Dark Dimension 2. Then a bunch of new characters came out. And then we had to build those characters. And then we found that the characters that we used for Dark Dimension 2 weren't good anymore for Dark Dimension 3. And then Dark Dimension 4 came out. And we started working on our characters that we used for Dark Dimension 3 and then realized that we had to shit can half of them. Those that don't hoard got bit in the ass. And I had to go through, multiple Dark Dimensions until I finally realized I just can't build anything. I just can't build anything, which is why now I'm getting people snipping at me because they're like, why aren't you building Bionic Avengers? Why aren't you building Bionic Avengers? I'm like, because they're not going to be good in 6 months. Because I don't know how long they're going to last. I think Bionic Avengers is going to last for 2 years. But how do I know? There are no rules. They might put out the next Horseman team could be tech, guys. There's no rules. Yeah, I know what they said. I know they said the next, Horseman team was going to be, each Horseman team was going to be focused on a game mode. And we're all thinking that the next Horseman team is now going to be, skill or mutant because we're so damn smart. But there's no rules. They can literally just put a new game mode in the game and throw a tech team on or make it a tech team and go, oh yeah, we lied. We just fucking lied. Because that's what this game does. That's what mobile games do. That's what life does. Dude, people lie. Companies lie. They don't give a shit.
Which is insane. And I would do these things called the top 10 lists, right? Which were so popular.
Oh shit, he originated top 10 list? I didn't fucking know. It's as if no one ever made Marvel Strike Force videos before Philosopher. Holy shit. Do tell about your top 10 lists.
At the my most popular videos, the top 10 to invest in list. And what was so cool about doing this and was so fun for me as I would talk to all these other players and get their perspective and try to talk about not what the best characters were at that moment, but rather what the best characters were to invest in for the future. And that really...
We just made shit up. And it was great. These things are such bullshit. This is another thing that inspired me to get into content creation was bullshit like this. Basically content for content's sake. And you know what? It sounds like he was just having a lot of fun. Sounds like this was just fucking fun for him. And maybe it should be. Maybe it should be a fun thing to do. But I don't know, man. Giving people bad advice, leading them down the wrong path, having them invest in shit that was just going to fucking... you see what it did to him. You see where the channel goes. This whole fucking great reset bullshit that he comes up with. The timeline of the advice that he goes through when he realizes that he's been telling people the wrong shit for months and now he feels like regret about it. I don't know if he's going to talk about that shit, but that happened.
And when I was talking to a developer who since left the game, about this, he told me, well, we really like that aspect of it. We think it's great that people are logging in the middle of the night they have to be online at a certain time. And I became increasingly concerned as I was talking to developers. And
this is when I discovered that mobile games are secretly evil. I actually really like this bit. I'm really glad he shared that bit. That's probably the best bit of the whole fucking video. I'm glad I watched it just for that. We actually really like that part, Phil. We actually really like. That's what we're trying to do. You figured it out. That's what we're trying to do. We want to get... They're trying to mimic addiction. Because if they mimic addiction, all the mechanisms of addiction work and you spend more money. That's blatantly what they're doing. It's amazing that an educated man like this, supposedly so fucking with it, didn't do any research whatsoever on mobile video games before jumping so far into it that he became a fucking content creator who ended up representing a large portion of the Marvel Strike Force community, a larger portion than I myself have ever represented, and wielding all the power that goes with that. Had no idea what mobile video games were till he was neck deep in the shit. Unfucking believable.
and trying to push them to make the game better because it was such a big part of my life. It was, hours I was spending a day with all of you. I mean, I think everybody here knows that if you're really into this game and you're hardcore about this game, it's like a second job, right? It is consuming. It's hours a day. It's hours of raiding and war and, all the time spent outside of the game. Not just
if you want it to be. I mean, you can also push people to not do that. I mean, I think the guilt started kicking in. Like, quite honestly, like, I'm actually developing more. I always develop more sympathy the more I hear him talk because I know that he has no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, he has no fucking idea. Just none. And, for me, that gets me kind of feeling sympathetic because those are the kind of people I try to help. To people like this, I try to wake up and I try to say, you don't have to do any of that shit. You really don't. You have to care less. You have to play this game more casually. They want to hook you. They want you up at 3 a.m. They want you constantly playing this game. They want all your fucking money. They want $40 a month. They want $80 a month. They want $160 a month. They want $200 a month, $1,000 a month. It just keeps going up. It keeps going up. The more you like the game, the more they want to, take from you, and it will never fucking end. So what you have to do is you have to put your foot down and say you only get this much time a day. And now the mechanisms are in place. I know these weren't in place while he was playing, but they're here now. And I like to inform people when we start talking about how crazy the game is and how many hours we spend and how we're fucking helpless. You can be in an alliance that is running a raid that is weak enough for you just to auto through. That's step one if you want your life back, if you want your time back. Just be in an alliance where you can just auto through the raid. Step one. Be in an alliance where you don't have to spend all day on fucking Discord bitching with your alliance about who isn't getting their attacks in, who isn't doing their fuck all that shit. That's insane. No video game should require you to spend fucking multiple hours on Discord a day. That's fucking nuts. That's where most of our time, if we're honest about Marvel Strike Force, most of this time that we talk about is on Discord. It's not even in-game. The in-game activities can be summed up rather quickly. Most of the time is outside of the game doing a bunch of bullshit that nobody should be doing because nobody should care about this game to the extent that content creators end up caring about it. We should be telling our audience to not give so many fucks. It doesn't matter which fucking character you build the character you like, play it to the extent that you want to play it, and stay the fuck out of this hardcore shit because it will tear you apart.
Just in the game, but spent theory crafting, spent planning with your alliance, spent plotting out whether it's your crucible attack or what you're going to bring to.
Don't do all that shit. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. And if the game has led you into doing that, then you might have a fucking problem with addiction. And that's why I put a link down at the bottom of all my videos for online addiction counseling. It's why I donate to fucking to addiction centers, because I realize what's happening here. Inform yourself, man. You fucking 2 years of doing this, you didn't inform yourself at all about what's actually happening.
Every new character, because they would all be needed for a scourge or needed to, be part of.
Or not, dude. You can think your way out of it too. I'm getting Red Hulk. I'm going to have a great Red Hulk, right? Did I build Hero Asgardians? Fuck no. Did I build Bionic Avengers? Fuck no. I'm doing fine. I'm in a top 20 alliance. This whole time I've been sitting here just yelling to the fucking sky. I'm winning the game for free. I'm winning the game building 10 characters. Nobody fucking gives a shit, but I'm just saying it. It can be done. You can think your way out of this shit. You do not have to build every character they throw down the pipe. You can play this game for fun. You can play this game casually. You can ignore game modes. You can do all this shit. You do not have to be a slave to what the developers want. In fact, if we all do it, they will alter what they're doing. And that's the most powerful thing that we can do as players of this game, is to take charge of the situation ourselves. We did a great job with RTA. We shit canned that. We all fucking hated RTA and it went away. We can do that with every game mode we hate. We can do that with milestones. We can do that with everything. We just have to get on the same fucking page.
And
no, they can't. It can't be fixed. By the way, that's just a horrible thing to put out there for people, giving them this weird sense of hope or whatever. Which he's always like, I've watched these videos and it's always like, maybe we can, guys, and maybe they'll see the. No, they won't. That's the first thing we got to do as content creators is drop that shit. Drop that. Can we fix Marvel? No. It's a mobile video game designed to market gambling to children. So no. It's despicable. It fucking sucks. It can't be fixed. Can you play it and not let it ruin your life? Yeah. But you have to kind of change the way you think. You have to change what you think of as winning. You can't do what they tell you to do. None of us can do what they tell you to do because they want you to be destructive. They want you to be addicted to their video game and play it to the exclusion of everything else in life. And you got to understand that, though. You can't ignore that part. That's important. The subtext is text. It's very fucking important.
And darker, right? And more in your face. What you didn't see is what was happening behind the scenes during that time. You saw stuff where, I did an interview with Cerebro where at least I tried to ask him tough questions from my community, from the Discord.
If you took the questions from the community in the Discord, you did a disservice, because I've been doing that for a while and the people in this community have no fucking idea what to ask these developers or this game company to do. You got to use your big brain. You got to use your big content creator brain. You can't just ask their questions. And I listened to this interview. I reacted to this interview. This interview fucking sucked. No follow-up questions were asked. I don't know if you were able to ask follow-up questions. Your questions were lightweight as shit. None of the things that you brought up in your previous video about the quality of life issues that this game has were brought up during this interview. Nothing was done. And then there was no follow-up afterwards. But I'm curious, what are you going to tell us? What happened behind the scenes?
That we have. But what you didn't see was a lot of lobbying that I did over a long period of time. Because I will tell all of you, I was originally considering or planning to leave the game over a year ago, when I was racing in DD5. Because I had spent, almost a year hoarding gear and hoarding war credits. I had 1.1 million war credits going into DD5. And then I discovered that actually it was mostly going to be determined by extraordinarily expensive offers and how many thousands of dollars you were willing to spend.
Wait, what? I thought we were going to talk about all the shit he was doing and his lobbying and how he's going to help the players. And then he was baited by Dark Dimension 5 and he spent what must have been a few $1,000s. I don't know, 10,000, 5,000. It was a lot of thousands. Because he did this. He raced. The incredibly slow, boring race that Dark Dimension 5 was. He raced and lost. It was something else, really. Is that how you lobbied? By giving them lots of money? I don't know if that's how. I don't think that's how you win.
And these offers.
I really didn't like what they were doing, so I gave them a few $1,000s, and I thought maybe that would make them stop. Has worked never.
And I realized that was insane. And I was, I just moved into a new home. So I had.
Well, then take a stand and don't. And then tell people not to give a shit. That was my message at the time. I was like, don't race. Don't do this. In fact, I was trying to be subtle, but I was like, any content creator that's buying into this, which is exploitation. It's straight up exploitation of neurodivergent people. I don't care if this guy or that guy isn't neurodivergent. I don't give a shit. There were 100 people or 200 people that were involved in this shit show. A good deal of them were neurodivergent. And they were being taken advantage of, and you were complicit in that by pushing this narrative yourself. I tried to convince the devil to not be the devil. I mean, yeah, my chat's asking me now. No, I believe that he tried to improve the game in his own way. He just didn't understand the game. He didn't understand what was going on. I still don't think he does. I don't think he understands exactly what's going on here. I don't know why. I don't know why it's unclear to him at this point. Maybe he's just never watched a Mr. Hargrave video. That's probably it. I'm just going to say he never watched a Mr. Hargrave video, so that's why he has no fucking clue what he's talking about.
Candidly, he was off doing his own thing. Very nice guy, but was sort of not completely responsive to things. But there were a couple developers that...
There goes Cerebro under the fucking bus. Y'all catch that? He was like, Cerebro was off doing his own thing. That was nice. You know, we all suspected as much, so it's good to hear it. So we went around him. Okay, so he's talking directly to developers. Cool.
I spent a lot of time talking to who are no longer working on the game, and I was really pressing them for changes. And at one point...
Do you think they quit because when he called him up, he would be like, hey, guy. I'm sorry, I had to do it. I'm sorry, it's really annoying. It's really fucking annoying, right? Am I wrong? Out of all the things you could say whatever you want. To open your video, you can say whatever the fuck you want. You pick and stuck with it for like 2 years. Hey, guy. Like, oh my God, dude, really? With the same delivery, like really stuck to professional. But holy shit, man, really? You could have done anything. Could have done anything. And fucking literally anything would have been less annoying. So you chased developers off with that. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I mean, maybe the guys that were talking to you, I don't know. I guess they didn't want to fix anything because they just left and they never fucking listen to you. So that's interesting.
About 6 months ago, I did have a conversation with Cerebro, and just a phone conversation. And I told him I'm planning to leave the game. I'm a big, content creator in your game. I'm planning to leave. Potentially to go to another game.
It sounds like he had to remind Cerebro who he was. Oh, I fucking love it. Cerebro's like, yep. It's like, hey, Cerebro, it's Philosopher. And he's like, who? He's like, I'm a big content creator. I got 10,000 subscribers. That'd be like me. I'd be like, it's Mr. Hargrave. Who? I make fun of you on the internet a lot. Like, you don't know? Actually did it run into Cerebro. It's pretty much he came in here. It was pretty much the conversation we had. He was like, oh, you seem really angry. Fuck off. And left.
And here are all the issues with your game. And I talked
File
to him about
those.
basic screen time. The fact you have to be online at specific times. I just think...
Whoa. So this conversation only happened at the end? Dude, it really does not sound like you told him this until this moment. This is like fucking news. Wow. Way to wait on that convo.
Is not conducive to people who have real lives, families or jobs. I think the cost value.
I think the thing that's interesting here is that he doesn't get that they know all that. They know all this. They know this. The developers know it's working as intended, dude. It's literally working as intended. Literally working as intended. So it's so weird to come at it like you're telling Cerebro something he doesn't know. He knows. He's not a dumb motherfucker. I know the hair and beard and shit. But no, he's not a dumb motherfucker. This guy's smart. The developers are smart. They know exactly what they're doing. And they were trying to hip him to it. They're like, dude, that's what we're doing. It's like, we can't really say it because we know that you might just go blow it up. You might go say it casually on Twitch or something. But you know that we know, right? And he was like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I have no idea what's going on. Why is this game so difficult? I mean, I listened to him bitch about when he was doing the bitch video where he was like, oh, the people with real lives and fucking soccer games and kids and shit. And at the time I was like, dude, it's like you just have no idea what they're doing, how much money this makes them. If they change this shit, it won't make as much money. And they care about nothing else. They don't care about a good world-class experience. None of that shit. They'll say all that shit to calm you down, but they don't mean a fucking word of it. You don't know a liar? I thought you were a lawyer, motherfucker. You don't know when someone lies to you? You don't know when that happens?
Proposition for this game is off. It's gotten way, way, way more expensive where you have to buy every new character and they're not farmable for a year and a half to 2 years, there's a lack of transparency about what characters you're going to need in the future or what you're going to need to build in the future. I understand that some of that is in Scopely's advantage to keep us in the dark, but a lot of it is pretty frustrating.
It's all in their advantage. They are the casino. The house always wins. That's how it works. And what you have to do, I mean, what I wish you would have done is stop it with this shit. Stop it with this shit. They can't turn off all the mechanisms that make all the money. Like, I'm an envoy now. I'm in there. I'm not trying to get them to stop all the shit they do. I'm just trying to get them to be like 10% less evil, 1% less evil. And you got to understand that this is how they make money and that they do their jobs well and that this game is functioning very well. So you can't get them to change these big things, just little things. And I think you could have been super effective at doing that because you had their ear, but you had to be more reasonable and you had to open your mind and understand what was going on, because it made you very ineffective not hipping yourself to what mobile games are, what the game industry basically is. Outside of like independent studios, big studios wish they were Boundless, wish they were Scopely. You see the money Scopely makes, EA Games, Activision, Acclaim, all these motherfuckers want that money. Even Nintendo, as fucking kid-friendly and wonderful as Nintendo is, they want into the mobile market. They want to push microtransactions out. They put out fucking Pokemon, what was it? Battle Arena or some shit, which was basically just like a Marvel Strike Force kind of, grind game for children. For children with $100 microtransactions. They don't give a fuck. They want all the money, not some money, not a little bit of money, not a reasonable amount of money, all the fucking money.
Frustrating when all my content has to basically be, hoard, and just wait because we have no idea what
there it is.
The future is going to hold. And I felt like
your content needed to always be that way. Oh, it was never the way you had blinders on and you were make-believing and then you realized what game you were playing. It sounds like it took you a remarkable amount of time to figure out what kind of game you were playing.
Like there was no more agency for players. Where essentially what was happening was...
There never fucking has been. 4 years ago, I was told to build Yondu. 4 years ago, I didn't want to build Yondu. If I wanted to win, I had to build Yondu. And it never changed. If I wanted to win, I had to build Defenders. If I wanted to win, I had to build Brotherhood. If I wanted to win, I had to get Coulson. I had to do all these things. We had to get Fantastic Four. We had to get Black Order. Now we're into the part that you understand. But yes, it has always been that way because they always have to sell the new character and they have to kill the old characters. And if they're going to bring a character back, that character has to be proper fucking dead so that it sells offers. That's why we have Underworld, because that team was proper fucking dead and new players don't even have shards of that shit. So now they can sell offers.
Was that, basically, players would... just have to build for Apocalypse, and that's what everyone was doing. We're all building the same roster and going in the same direction, and it just took what I thought.
I'll give them that it's worse. I'll give them that it's worse now, and I feel at this point we're getting real cyclical with our talk. Like I'm already caught up now. I think I've said what I wanted to say. If you want to watch the rest of this, I will not put the link down below because you've literally already watched it. It has so many fucking views on it, probably more views than I'll ever see on my meager channel. And it's a fucking shame that someone with so much influence came up short for whatever fucking reason. I don't know, Phil. Look, hard feelings aside, man, I know we never really hit it off or whatever. I'd still... love to fully bear. If you ever really want to know what the fuck is going on, I'd be happy to talk to you. I don't think you'll ever fucking talk to me though, or anyone in my audience. I don't think you fucking like people like us. Anyways, Gravediggers, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'm gonna keep digging. Let's just pretend that anything that I said that was super upsetting, I didn't mean. How about that? Let's just go with that. That sounds good to me. Just know that I understand that he is a human being and I don't want to be a total cock. If that makes sense. I don't fucking know. Try to save myself, but myself keeps slipping.